Hello there, and welcome to the Pit and Paddock Race Show for the third week of August. IndyCar was in St. Louis for a long race. I don't forget how many laps it was.
Some.
It was long.
Some laps.
And it was mostly good day for TeamCheater.com, also known as Penske, with Newgarden winning and teammate McLaughlin in second, which sounds good. But Newgarden's bewildering restart probably cost his teammate Will Power the championship.
I don't know what he was thinking there. Or was he trying the old layback sort of bait everyone in and take off? That's what it seemed like.
Stop, go, and then Rossi went.
Yeah, he did. He decided he was done stopping.
Yeah.
And he went for a little bit of a ride there.
Maybe it was karma, because Will Power had brought out a yellow with 20 to go after crashing David Malukas, whatever.
Malicious.
Yeah. Bumps David Malicious into the wall, which brought out a yellow. And Malicious was the only real competition Penske had in that race. He was hanging with them. But that gave Will Power's two teammates, Newgarden and McLaughlin, an easy pit stop. They were able to pit and get back out in the lead because Power brought out that yellow. But then karma took the form of Rossi, who smashed into Power on the restart and took them both out.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, Power only gave him the one bird because the double bird is for race directors only, apparently.
Yeah. Where was that race at where he double birded the race director?
I think it was New Hampshire, and they restarted it while it was raining or something.
Yeah.
So he gave him the double.
Power was saying no, don't restart because he was in the lead. He wanted him to call it. And then they restarted, and he immediately crashed.
And 5 or 6 of the drivers crashed.
Yeah. And then that was it.
I think he birded Scott Dixon also, in a at Road America. Was that this year? I don't know, but he crashed him in practice or something, and I think he got a bird.
Everybody wants to bird Dixon just for his fuel-saving abilities. Well, it was a big break for Caillou, who was set to lose a few points to Power in the championship, but Power's crashed out. Now Caillou gets a big jump in the championship. I don't know if anyone's going to catch him now. He's going to have a bad day.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Malukas, who could have got his first win there, and then Will Power.
That was his sub day, or not sub, but his first day on the new job, right?
I think so.
Yeah, he replaced Kenneth Pino.
Oh, Daly. I think he got a top 10 or 12. Malukas was the one that was right at the front all day. The only one that was competition, and then,
and then Will took him out.
Yeah, that was too bad.
Newgarden spun earlier on from P2, lap 196 he spun. That was about halfway point, maybe? Anyway, he spins from P2, trying to catch McLaughlin, and then somehow still makes it back to the lead. How does he do that?
I don't know. He's got a pretty nice push-to-pass button, I've heard.
Oh, that's right. You could just have the engineers give him a little extra boost. Yeah. I did notice that he had a female tire changer on his team, and she actually beat 2 of the men getting the tire on and off. So
good pit stops.
Yeah,
maybe he ran a joker lap. That got him back up front.
Yeah. How do you spin out and then make your way back up front?
This isn't NASCAR. There's none of that.
But he did, and another Penske win.
It was great to see Ed Carpenter back so he could immediately crash out of the race again.
What, like lap 2?
Hey, Ed, maybe it's just time to be a team owner. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be going great.
All he does is cost his team points when he comes back out.
That's not.
More bad luck for Mexican driver Pato O'Ward, out at lap 50 with engine failure. He was doing pretty well, but it turns out his engine was also made in Mexico.
Graham the Unlucky.
Oh, Graham.
With another DNF again after consistently dropping from the green flag.
Yeah, he started on row 6 and he just went backwards all day.
More car issues, or is it time to retire? I don't know.
What did his teammate do? That's the question.
Nothing impressive enough for me to remember right off the top of my head.
Yeah, Team Rahaal's just not doing so hot. Maybe they need Lanigan back. Or who was the comedian that used to own part of their team?
Letterman?
Letterman. Yeah, wasn't it Letterman, Rahal, Lanigan?
Yeah, he's still in there.
But it's just Team Rahal now? He needs to put his name back on.
Oh, I guess they just call it Rahal.
Yeah.
RHL.
Oh. Seemed like a lot of empty seats in St. Louis. Like, I thought the North is where IndyCar was the most popular.
They usually put a good crowd up. But NASCAR started running there this year, so that might take a few fans away. Plus, their night race was at like 3 p.m. or something. It's a night race.
It was a geriatric night race.
So it's going to be like, 98 and 100% humidity out all day.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't very smart. Why would they have it at that? I don't know. IndyCar makes a lot of poor decisions.
There's ratings. You're on USA on a Saturday night. Just put it on when the racing will be best.
Yeah.
Yeah, that took a long time. It finally became night though. Like with 10 to go, I was like, oh good, it's a night race. You get a whole 10 laps in, mostly under caution.
Have they started using football terms for all their things like playoffs and overtime, like NASCAR does?
IndyCar overtime. No, the
Yeah.
race just ends when it's supposed to.
Oh.
They did say they would red flag it if they could, but no shenanigans. I heard a report that Malukas is going to be going to Foyt next year. Who, I don't know, because Foyt's got Stingray Robb and then Santino Ferrucci. And it better be Stingray Robb that loses his seat because Ferrucci's putting in a pretty good effort this year.
Wait, that's Beavis. I didn't notice Butthead. Where was Rasputin? I don't remember seeing him in the race.
That's probably good news for him, I guess. And then, back on the TV coverage, the race start was pushed to CNBC because the Busch Series was delayed by rain. So, I don't think I saw the first 25 or 30 laps of the race.
Another reason to stream it and watch it later on replay.
I should have. I was like, I'll go back and watch the beginning, and then I forgot. Not really important anyways.
Yeah, the only thing that happened was Ed Carpenter crashing into Catherine Legg on lap 2.
Wow, poor Catherine.
Yeah, she never does so good when she comes back either. I thought she was a team owner now.
I don't know.
Didn't she put together a team for IndyCar and had a younger woman racing it? Yeah.
Oh, that was another woman.
Yeah, in more broadcast news, Venue Sports, the collaboration of Fox, ESPN, TNT, and ABC. I'm sure we could move those letters around to make something really interesting.
I'll wait until it's approved.
Yeah. Anyway, Venue's been temporarily blocked after a complaint was filed by Fubo TV with the Ninth Circuit Court. The federal judge ruled they need to add a DEI channel. So, Venue is considering Hallmark, BET, or Telemundo.
Sounds like every cable package. Like, hey, you get these. I'm like, okay, can we take this channel out? No, that one stays in. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just going right back to cable TV.
I'm sure the courts will get it all worked out, and then whatever the result, the fans will end up paying more money than they are currently to watch the same thing.
Yeah. What is Fubo? It's like for us by others?
I don't know what it stands. It's like a Sling or YouTube TV type thing.
Who came up with that name?
I don't know. It always sounded odd to me.
I feel like if I put it in water, it's going to turn into some kind of monster.
The Fubo?
Yeah. Don't put the Fubo in water and don't feed it after midnight. Right. Well, next week, IndyCar heads to the Pacific Northwest, home of communism and Portland Raceway, for a road course race?
Road course.
Portland Road Course? Wait, is that the one on the airport? It's really flat?
No. It's, I don't remember it. There's a lake in the middle of it, I remember.
Does it have, like, crashed Boeing airplanes somewhere? No, that's Washington.
It's scattered across the country.
Does it have endangered beavers in the middle of the lake?
Probably. They probably shut the race down to feed them at some point. Bunch of homeless encampments up and down pit road, though, so look for that.
Oh, yeah.
NASCAR was in Michigan this weekend and were once again surprised by rain in the summertime.
Why? They shouldn't be surprised. We go to Michigan every summer. The chance of rain's higher than the chance of Montana electoral votes going to Trump.
Well, the rain got started a little bit and promptly pushed back to Monday, where Reddick held out for the win over William Byron and Little Ty Gibbs in third.
Oh, always the bridesmaid for Little Ty Gibbs.
Always.
You know, I noticed that Kyle Busch got lost on his way to the pits and somehow found himself in fourth place. How did that happen?
I don't know. Did he get himself some push to pass or something?
Yeah.
That was pretty rough.
What? How? Let's see. That's a speedway. That's a longer speedway. Is that maybe more
2 miles?
2 mile track, more better for Busch and whatever team he's on this year?
Maybe. That's where you go. I think you got to win it, Fontana, the last time, so.
Yeah, maybe he's a 2 mile
track. Apparently they need to be going to more 2 mile tracks for Kyle Busch.
Maybe he'll do better at Daytona. 2.5 miles.
Oh, that's drafting again.
Oh, he doesn't have any friends.
I think it's Austin Dillon now that doesn't have any friends. Well, Toyota and Hendrick once again dominated an uneventful stage 1 until, what was it? Hamlin spun with about 7 laps to go in the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Dillon was nowhere near him, just to be clear. The fans were pretty excited, though. I heard them cheering over the TV.
Dillon later said he would have spun him, but the 3-car wouldn't go any faster. How did Hamlin spin anyway? I mean, you're in second place. It's not like anybody's near you.
It looks, he kind of cut up quickly behind Bubba Wallace was in front of him, and I think the air just unsettled, lost a little downforce on the right front of the car, and it just sent him around.
Ooh.
It's pretty touchy there.
He didn't follow the science.
No, he should have followed the science. It always works.
Yeah. You can always follow the science. It's always true.
Towards the end of stage 2, Kyle Larson, who had a dominant car all day, got a little bit loose and took out like 10 cars, at least damaged 10 cars.
He took out my man Gilligan with the pickle car.
Rest in peace, pickle car.
Yeah.
And a good amount. Christopher Bell, a couple other of the big names that were running at the front all day.
The stage 2 headline was Larson Gets Loose, which sounds like a Prison Break film.
Or an adult film, maybe.
Yeah, that could be an adult film, too.
I don't even want to watch that one.
I'm not watching Larson Gets Loose.
The best crash of the day, or spectacular, I guess. Not really the best.
Crashes are never good.
Lap 138, when Corey LaJoie ended up flipping over on the backstretch and sliding about 15 miles on his roof.
Was he trying to wreck that car? I think it was a tin car. He was close to it. It kind of looked like LaJoie drove into his quarter panel.
He was close. I don't even know if he made contact. He cut down from behind him real fast, and maybe he just touched it enough to send him.
Enough to flip?
I guess. That car flipped the second it got sideways, too, down and like immediately. Like once it went sideways, it flipped.
It flipped like a DNC presidential candidate. No, I'm not for open borders.
Every time I see a car flip like that, I'm like, oh great, next time we're here, NASCAR is going to be taking away 100 horsepower and adding another inch to the spoiler.
Yeah. You know, the paint job actually looked better upside down.
The underside of that car is pretty clean with that.
Yeah. It's flat.
That flat.
Like a barge board on old Formula 1 cars before ground effects.
Yeah,
that's
right.
what it's called. A lot of people at that track for a Monday. Michigan's not a small track, and it looked fairly full.
They probably had more than IndyCar did for their main race the last time they were there.
Yeah, when's IndyCar ever going to get popular again?
I don't know. They should run with NASCAR.
They need to be like NASCAR's lower series.
Or at least come to Phoenix, and I can just knock out a couple races in one go.
Well, in other NASCAR news, Kurt Busch was arrested for reckless drunk driving, not just drunk driving, reckless drunk driving. I think he blew almost double the legal limit. Busch later defended his actions, saying that he didn't think Busch beer counted as drinking.
Shouldn't.
Isn't that like the Hams beer of the South?
It's at Busch is like you can have like a 30-pack and still be pretty good for the day.
Yeah.
Dylan last week was also suspended for his crash victory through two people. The deciding factor for NASCAR was the right hook that he gave out to Hamlin. I don't know. I don't think Dale Earnhardt would have been penalized for that, but
Dale Earnhardt was watching from heaven going, "That's a good move. I'd have done that."
I'm sure Dale would like to knock Hamlin around too if he was around. My favorite part is when NASCAR, when they penalize someone or they ban some kind of move, they then proceed to use the footage of it for the next 10 years, promoting races and television and everything, and that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, don't do this, but look at this cool sequence. Speaking of media promotion, NBC's Lee Diffie, I promised I wouldn't call him Lee Doofy this time.
Oh.
Lee Diffie is moving from IndyCar to NASCAR starting yesterday. I don't know, maybe that's because NBC's not going to cover NASCAR or IndyCar anymore?
IndyCar, yeah, he's got no...
He got no job.
And then NASCAR's got rid of its play-by-play guy, so I guess might as well get started early.
It was kind of fun listening to him narrate the Olympic running events. That was actually pretty good. I kind of got used to it.
Feels like you're almost watching racing.
I know.
We've got some paint schemes this week.
Paint schemes. Did we have any good paint schemes?
I struggled to find anything interesting. A lot of them I've seen before, so not much from me.
My man Gilligan did have the pickles car. I kind of liked it. The hood was white, so it looks like he dipped the pickle in ranch or maybe gravy.
Gravy pickles.
Gravy pickle. You know, do they have deep fried pickles?
Yeah.
Remember they had deep fried bacon at Las Vegas? And we didn't. They were like they were all out or something, but I've never seen deep fried pickles.
I've had them before, like at a sports bar or something.
Oh, they like slice them
it's
up
the little
like
mushrooms. Circular circle
okay.
cut.
Like chips.
Yeah.
Not like a whole pickle you just drop in the vat.
I've never seen that.
That might
maybe
work.
at the fair.
Yeah, or maybe in Louisiana. I had to go to Xfinity, and I noticed that number 35, Grace, I don't know, how do you say his name? Grease?
No one cares.
In the bumpers car, is that a picture on the side of the guy that threw his bumper at another car? Remember that? When the guy ripped off part of his car, and as the guy that crashed him came around, he threw it? Well, that looks like him on the side of the car.
Is it? Oh, I missed that one.
If you're watching the video version of this, then
I'm gonna have to.
Daniel's gonna throw up
have to take a look
picture
at that
of the
picture.
30-foot. I don't know. That's what it looked like to me, like a guy holding up a piece of bumper ready to throw it at another guy.
Well, if he did, then that's a pretty good paint scheme.
Yeah.
And I'm upset that I didn't catch that one.
That might be paint scheme of the year, if it's what we think it is. How about bad paint schemes?
Bad paint schemes. Well, the winner, Tyler Reddick, in the McDonald's car, it looks like it's dripping blood all over the place. I mean, it's supposed to be ketchup, but it kind of looks like blood, and it's a little weird.
Maybe they were commemorating the McMassacre from the Olympics and whatever that was, like 86 or something.
Oh, good. That needed to be commemorated.
I'm calling out number 12 Blaney in the Menards car. Who put day glow yellow and turquoise together on a car? So, ladies and effeminate men, I'm calling on you for judgment here, because that just looked awful.
Oops. Bad designer. I did see Suarez was driving the creepy see-through underwear paint scheme. Kind of still a little weird, and I'm uncomfortable with it.
I don't know who thought that was a good idea.
Somebody in marketing thinks they're a genius.
I got a big question mark on the number one car of Chastain, the Busch Light car. Is that really peach beer?
Busch Light Peach? I've heard of it. I've never tried it. It doesn't seem like a good combination.
It's not like a wine cooler, right? It's actually beer with a peach. How can that taste good?
I don't know. I've seen them do apple before also. Busch Light, Apple, and I don't like any of them. Doesn't sound good.
They could do cream corn and country fried gravy. That might work.
Get all your meals in at once.
I did notice in the Xfinity series that Custer, is it Cole Custer?
Yeah.
Custer in the double-aught Autodesk car. Autodesk sponsors the NASCAR. Is this why my subscription is like $400 a month?
That's correct. You think they could sponsor like a whole F1 team for what they charge for a subscription?
It's ridiculously expensive for Autodesk products. And I only get AutoCAD and like Revit Lite, and it's still $400 a month for one seat.
God, that's awful.
You have to pay for every seat, right? Because they make you log in now. So if you have like 40 people at your firm, you're paying a pretty penny every month for software.
Is there an alternative?
No. Actually, no, there isn't.
Good job, DOJ. Way to get on it.
Yeah, if you want to talk about monopolies, Autodesk. And speaking of Custer, so the Haas Cup team, Cole Custer is going to move up and drive for the Cup team next year.
Yes.
I also noticed Joe Custer is president of the Haas Cup team. Is nepotism alive and well in NASCAR, or is that coincidence?
No, nepotism is highly encouraged in NASCAR.
I can see that. Earnhardt, Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs. How did he get that ride? I don't know.
I don't know. We could go down the list of my son or brother or cousin got a
Austin
ride.
Dillon's grandfather is.
Yeah. Are
Anyway.
are there any France drivers?
No.
I mean, they own the whole series. How do they not have a driver?
Oh, they have driven before, though. Not like in the trucks or Busch a bit.
Oh, just the minor series?
Yeah. I guess they weren't good enough to make it. So coming up next week, are we at the cut? No, there's 2 more races before the playoff cutoff. Next week is the Daytona 400, or Coke 400 at Daytona, I guess they call it. It's one of only 2 Saturday night races this season.
Who's got the edge at the super speedway?
Drafting track. So what they're going to be doing is saving fuel for about 95% of the race in a giant pack, going like 8 to 10 miles slower than they should be, and sprinting at the end of the stages and the race. So who is usually, I bet
the Fords?
the Fords will be up there. They usually get together pretty well.
Because there's not very many of them.
Yeah. And it seems like the Toyotas do well, but then there's always a crash that takes out half of the Toyotas.
So stay out of the crash and
save fuel.
Save fuel. That's the race. Formula One was still on health and wellness leave this weekend.
Does F1 still exist?
Yes, but no one knows what or where it is. Sort of like the Harris platform.
Oh, I'm sure it's great though. Well, the biggest news is a rule change on brakes. No biasing systems. So they can't discriminate anymore. Is that what they meant by that?
Yeah, brake bias.
Oh, right. Of course that's what they meant. They're just cleaning up some language in the rules, but why in the middle of the season? Did they find something?
Our sources say that the brake biasing, which would be you can switch it so the brake grabs a little more on the left or right while you're driving. So the brake biasing is rumored to be the key to Red Bull's early dominance. But it was discovered after Max's DNF in Australia. Remember when he had a brake seize up and he was out of the race?
Oh yes.
So what we're hearing is that the biasing system failed, and then it got looked into, and then by Miami, Formula One was saying, "Oh, you can't do that anymore." But then they didn't mention it to anyone else, and then they quietly changed the rule in the middle of the season.
So, was it illegal before, or just not covered by the rules? It sounds like it wasn't covered, so they didn't.
Yeah, like it was meant to be illegal, but the language wasn't perfect, so it was a loophole, and it got found, and then it got closed. And that might be the reason that Red Bull was so good early on.
Well, of course, F1 has no history of catching a team breaking the rules and then hushing the whole thing up. Maybe like Ferrari burning engine oil in the last Formula.
Yeah. We still don't know exactly what the infraction was or what the settlement was. It's just that all of a sudden Ferrari had a settlement and now their car's slower. F1 still treats its viewers like they're vassals, and F1's the feudal lord.
That's kind of annoying. At least
It's very European.
I'll say about NASCAR is when they catch someone with some sort of unapproved part the next week or before the next race, they have the guy out there holding the part out and they'll show it. Hey, here's what it is, and then this was the piece that was illegal, and it's informative. F1 just kind of.
Yeah, there was something. Don't worry about it. Just buy our TV package.
I could see how that could help though. Help you turn into the corner a little bit more if you're only grabbing one side of the brakes. Interesting idea.
Yeah, in the last Formula, Mercedes was developing a system where the front tires would move in and out, like toe in and out, when you pushed on the steering wheel. And Formula One quickly saw that and said, no, you can't do that. You're already dominating for 8 years of racing. Let's not go there. Formula One's into their final 10 races. Everybody will bring upgrades to this next race. So the question is, number one, is McLaren going to overtake Red Bull in the points?
I don't think so.
They're only 42 behind.
Is that it?
And Red Bull's been faltering. They haven't won a race. And
I guess it depends on the number 2 driver, because Sergio's not getting it done.
Yeah, Max is scoring all the points. I don't know. I give it 60-40 to McLaren.
I think maybe after the break they can get it together, but I think McLaren right now has the momentum and is more likely to take it.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a shocking thing to think about at the beginning of the season.
Oh, yeah, we thought it was going to be a horrible year again. But, the bad thing about having, 5 races overseas so they can't do any upgrades is somebody's going to get a huge jump.
Yeah, that's true.
So that needs to change. I mean, it would be greener if they, packaged the races, geographically a little better instead of just saying no more military flyovers because that causes climate change.
So the military's just going to fly jets somewhere else?
Yeah.
They're already up there.
Yeah. Just let them do Wait, NASCAR still does military flyovers, right? Mm-hmm. And IndyCar?
Yes.
Just the Europeans don't do it.
No, that's because they can't have a healthcare flyover, can they?
I think Mexico did it anyway. I think Mexico's like, we're flying over our jets. Shut up. And then how about Mercedes? Mercedes won 2 of the last 3 races. They were 1-2 in the last race if Russell hadn't been disqualified. Mm-hmm. Could they become the fastest car?
They might already be. Wow.
Well, McLaren kind of had some problems last time, or else they might have won.
I think it'll come down to the track. What car's better suited at the track now? Because they're both fairly equal.
Yeah. Well, then Ferrari's the last question. Is it going to shake off its funk and actually be able to develop a car through the season?
No.
So Ferrari's going to stay in 4th.
Right out.
Yeah.
They get their points early and then try to coast in on the rest of them.
Yeah, they do have a habit of never being able to make up any ground during the season.
They need those early wins. And then they always bad strategy away the early wins that they could have got.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll say probably McLaren first, Red Bull second, Mercedes third, and Ferrari fourth. Because currently Ferrari's third in the championship, but Mercedes is catching up.
I think they'll lose to Mercedes.
Well, in team news, sources say that Audi is going full round eye next year and keeping Bottas on their team alongside Hulkenberg. So no more Zhu. How do you say his name?
They're not keeping the Chinese driver.
No. I guess they figured they don't need the money he brings anymore. So Audi, now that Audi's going to buy the team, Sauber's like, we don't need your money.
Keeping Bottas. Good for him. Yeah. Well, I like him.
It's not confirmed, but there's some rumors. Bottas was seen driving an Audi demo car with his number on it. So.
Oh my gosh.
So it's looking like Bottas and Hulka.
Well, that should be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to keep Valtteri around.
I like his
He's
commercials.
pretty interesting now.
Oh, his Australian commercial was the best.
This is a ridiculous mullet.
Yeah, that is a pretty ridiculous mullet, but we like it. Thanks for trying. Oh, and the highway patrol mustache.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Man, he's going straight to NASCAR at some point.
Oh, if he cut his hair shorter, he could do Reno 911.
Once again, coming up next. Actually, is it this week?
The actual racing this week.
They're actually going to be racing this week.
Yes.
The Dutch Grand Prix at Vandercrap Raceway, I'm sure is the name.
Whatever they call it.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know, some Dutch word that nobody else can pronounce.
It's an ancient track that no one likes, but was given a race because Max Verstappen's a good driver. So
Yeah, that Dutch Grand Prix was gone forever. That's a crappy old track. It's tiny, there's no passing, it's narrow.
They had, there's all that sand.
Yeah.
They brought in those cranes because they couldn't get the cars out.
Yeah, that's right. There's sand blows onto the track.
They added a banked turn, too. That was interesting.
It's just so narrow. It's like whoever qualifies on pole has 90% shot of winning that race.
Max better get on pole.
Well, it's a tight track. Maybe Ferrari brings the right upgrades because we know they're better on tight courses, and they get on pole and don't lose it and don't screw up the strategy. That's a lot to ask.
I have trouble thinking positively about Ferrari.
Yeah, not after the last few years. In Olympic news, we're on to other. In Olympic news, we still haven't finished watching the women's volleyball gold medal game yet, so I still don't know who won that. My daughter and I keep watching little bits, but we haven't made it through.
How long is the match?
It's like 3 games. We made it through the first game, and the American girls lost. They didn't look so hot. We're hoping they came back in the second match, but we don't know yet.
I don't remember who won.
Yeah. Yeah. The greatest memories are the second place silver medal shooter in the team pistol.
Turkish guy?
Yeah.
Assassin?
The 400,026th best breakdancer.
Oh, man.
And the pole vaulter who had a wardrobe malfunction.
You gotta back your hips up, bud.
Yeah. Don't lead with the coccyx erecti.
Yep, those are the only 3 important moments of the Olympics, I believe.
Know. Well, that and the opening ceremony mocking the Last Supper. That was, I don't say it was a good thing, but it was...
way to start it off, France.
Yeah. Good job, Frenchies.
Well, all right. That's it. Hey, actual racing this weekend, too.
3 races?
3 races.
Do we have 3 races? Is this a triple?
We've got Daytona Saturday night. We've got Indy and F1 on Sunday.
Yes. Triple race this weekend. All right. We'll have some good info next time. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.